Imagine being the minority in your own country.
Qatar, often mispronounced as Qatar, has an incredibly high ratio between migrants to citizens. 88% of its workforce is migrant workers. Despite making up nearly 90% of the population, the migrant workers are being oppressed and their rights are being taken away.
Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, whatever our nationality, place of residence, sex, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. We are all equally entitled to our human rights without discrimination. These rights are all interrelated, interdependent, and indivisible. That quote is straight off the United Nations website.
But the natives weren't always the oppressors. Britain was in control of the nation's external affairs, and during this occupancy, oil reserves were discovered and became the leading export. This led to a boom in their economy and rapid industrialization. Around the same time, slavery was abolished.
20 years later, Qatar became an independent sovereign state and continued to develop. They built tons of skyscrapers, soccer clubs, and banks. Qatar was actually chosen to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But this small country couldn't do everything on its own. Thousands of foreign workers came pouring in.
Qatar promised them incredible living and working conditions, as well as a nice pay that they could send back to family at home. Qatar is one of several countries that enforce the kafala, or sponsorship system. This means you can't get in the country unless you are being sponsored, and it binds the worker to his or her employer. Thousands of victims have found themselves trapped in Qatar and its system.
Although the 2009 labor sponsorship law forbids it, it's a common practice for an employer to confiscate their employees' passports. In order to go back home, they'd have to acquire an exit visa from their employer. That's much easier said than done. This violates Article 13 of the UDHR. We're proposing a simple message to spread: let the workers leave.
Other rights violated include Articles 4 and 24. The situation is often labeled modern-day slavery, and employees are forced to work long hours all year round. Oftentimes, their pay is late or they don't get it at all.
The Human Rights Council, whose job is to promote and protect human rights around the world, appointed Francois Crepeau as a special reporter or independent expert to assess the situation. According to Al Jazeera, he said Qatar should allow workers to unionize, abolish the kafala system, adopt legislation to protect labor rights, and properly enforce existing legislation.
If the country doesn't do anything, those working on the stadium will suffer, and there's a high chance people will die. The world pressured FIFA, who agreed it was wrong but defended its choice. Amnesty International, an organization who looks to protect human rights around the world, has set up a petition that tells the minister to enforce their rules more. Prevent thousands of deaths and abolish this modern-day slavery.
Don't forget our simple message:
Let the workers leave.